The top 10 list with number 10, Dalton Reisner of the Minnesota Vikings. Last year he was actually a top 10 in left guard position. He just switched to the right and still made it work. Even though he wasn't fully healthy, he still was productive. He still was a huge impact to the Minnesota Vikings offensive line, and it's definitely a guy that you need to look at and pay attention to. So, Dalton Reisner, 29 years old, 6 years in the league. He's got 1 year, $2.4 million on the contract for the Vikings. 10 games that he played, 537 snaps, zero penalties allowed, zero sacks allowed, had one hit, 16 pressures. Again, overall, for the amount of time that he was playing, pretty dominant, pretty great football from him. And yeah, he's one of the best guards in the league, definitely deserving of being top 10 in a brand new position. Even though it is the guard, he's moving from one side to the other side. It's still a transition, man, but he did well. So overall, good job on him. He's a top 10 guy. Got Kevin Zeitler. Last year he was number 10 at the right guard position. Yeah, he's moved from Baltimore, obviously, with his clip. He played in Detroit, had a pretty good year, made a top 10 list. Now he's moving to number 9 based on Dalton Reisner's injury and obviously moving positions. But mainly it's because of the amount of snaps that Reisner had compared to Zeitler. Zeitler deserves to be here. It's a huge signing for Tennessee, honestly, to have him here now in town for a year, I believe. Zeitler, he is 35 years old, 13-year vet. He did sign a 1 year, $9 million with the Tennessee Titans. I think it's really good. Trying to protect Cam Ward, I get that. We'll see if this is just kind of just one transition of a veteran move and then trying to get something else in the draft next year. So, again, overall, not bad signing for him. Played 16 games. He had 1,047 snaps, two penalties. He gave up five sacks, four hits allowed, 18 pressures. Honestly, not bad. The sacks are a little high for the guard position, but overall, had a pretty good year. Definitely deserving of being here. Honestly, barely made it, but good on him. Going to be Wyatt Teller. Last year was number 6, so he dropped down two spots, mainly because of the injuries and him not being fully healthy. But he's still one of the best right guards in the game. Definitely a huge part of the Cleveland Browns offensive line. Yeah, he's an absolute monster. Definitely a mean player. Love to see him on the field when he's healthy. Hope to see him a lot more healthier so he can be in a countdown that's a lot higher. Wyatt Tiller's 30 years old, 7 years in the league. He's got 1 year, 14.8 million on the contract. Played 13 games, had 885 snaps, six penalties given up, two sacks allowed, four hits, and 27 pressures allowed. Overall, the sacks are great. I think the thing's a little bit too high in terms of pressures and penalties, but overall, it's Wyatt Teller. He's a monster and definitely a huge part of this offense. So, him with Batonio, fantastic. Definitely deserving being here. Got Cesar Ruiz last year, not even ranked from the New Orleans Saints. Yeah, definitely super great right guard, very young, a guy that's really going to help the New Orleans Saints for in the long term. And I mean, they've had a great history of having really good guards in this organization. So Cesar Ruiz, really good, 26 years old, 5 years in the league, 3 years, $28.1 million. Played 13 games, had 813 snaps, gave up one penalty, one sack allowed, two hits, and 13 pressures. It's honestly all pro type status there with what he was doing, a Pro Bowl at least. So he needs to stay healthy. He needs to continue to be a productive and impactful part of the team. And again, Cesar Ruiz definitely needs to have a spot on this list. Very deserving. Dotson last year, honorable mention. Huge leap for him from honorable mention and knowing that he was relevant. He was really valuable player, but really coming into his own this year and, becoming a super impactful player for the Rams, who have a really good team, definitely a playoff team. And honestly, he's a huge reason of the success that they've had. Slowly he played really good ball in Pittsburgh, came to LA. I think he became just a better football player. He's 28 years old, 5 years in the league, 2 years, $32.5 million. 16 games he played, 1,023 snaps, 2 penalties allowed, 3 sacks allowed, 6 hits allowed, and 23 pressures allowed. Overall, really good year. Definitely needs to be looked at. Definitely a really fun player to watch. Trey Smith, last year, number 8. Yeah, Trey Smith is very special, honestly. A really young guy that has been a part of some really good Chiefs teams and a huge, huge part of this offensive line success, really. Honestly, when you look at the Chiefs, you look at the interior, and obviously losing Joe Tooney is hard, but definitely they needed to do what they could to keep Trey Smith because he's, like I said, a very valuable player. Him and Creed Humphrey just play each other off well, and yeah, I mean, it's what made the Chiefs been a dynasty, man. It's, partly because of that offensive line, majority because of this offensive line. So you have to look at it. Their Super Bowl losses have been because of their offensive line being pretty deterrent. So overall, Trey Smith, 26 years old, 4 years in the league. He does have a franchise tag of a year, $23.4 million. Honestly, makes sense for Kansas City. 17 games that he played, 1,015 snaps. Okay, had 9 penalties, 0 sacks given up, 5 hits allowed, 26 pressures. He was a Pro Bowler, which is well deserved, and also not surprising. So overall, I see this guy being an All Pro, and yeah, he's outstanding. I'm excited to see what he does this coming year. Cody Mock last year not even ranked, which is crazy. But again, he actually played a full year. Definitely proved and showed out for the Bucks. Huge reason of Baker Mayfield's great year. Huge reason of Bucky Irvin's great year. Cody Mock has been just a tremendous guard since he's entered the league. A lot of potential for him, and it's kind of showing now. He's definitely a top 5 right guard for sure. Very scary. Just looking at him, even just looking at his picture, it's like, oh, okay, this guy is an offensive line. Like, he is gritty, he is tough, and yeah, he's a mauler, dude. He's a monster. Cody Mock, 26 years old, 2 years in the league. He's got 2 years, $3.2 million left in his rookie deal. 17 games he played, 1,131 snaps. 2 penalties allowed, 2 sacks allowed, had 1 hit and 18 pressures allowed. Honestly, tremendous year, very well deserved. And yeah, Cody Mock will definitely continue to grow, and I'm sure he will be near the top at some point in his career. He is going to be Brandon Sheriff of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yeah, I mean, he hasn't changed the ranking at all. Honestly, makes perfect sense. Brandon Sheriff has just been a guy, man. He's just been a monster since he's entered the league. He's definitely a guy like a Zach Martin status, in my opinion, that definitely could see himself in the Hall of Fame. Absolutely, I can see him in Canton. He's been tremendous for the teams he's played for. Yeah, he's 33 years old, 10 years in the league, 1 year, $15 million from the Jacksonville Jaguars. Even though obviously this film is on the free agency, he did get that 1 year from what I saw from my resources. 17 games that he played, 1,013 snaps, 2 penalties allowed, 0 sacks allowed, 1 hit, 17 pressures. I mean, for a guy that's at his age right now, like he is able to be super productive. And honestly, I mean this it really shows, and I mean this is good. This is good as a veteran type guy to be able to do what he's doing. Props to him, and yeah, he's definitely top 3 still at his age. It is Chris Lindstrom of the Atlanta Falcons. Last year he was number 1, and I think he still is one of the best guards in football. Obviously, I think that questionable his numbers kind of went up a little bit in terms of the bad types of stuff that you want to see in the offensive lineman. But I mean, overall, yeah, I mean he's definitely deserving of being where he's at, and a huge contributor to the offensive line in Atlanta. Yeah, I mean Chris Lindstrom is a guy. He's a fucking honestly an amazing football player to watch, and strong, athletic. He's 28 years old, 6 years in the league, 4 years, $67.45 million in the deal. 17 games that he played, 1,099 snaps, 8 penalties allowed, 1 sack allowed, 4 hits allowed, 12 pressures. Honestly, or sorry, 1 sack allowed. He had 8 penalties. He had 8 hits allowed, 31 pressures. I think that's the hugest, the biggest thing. I think the takeaway is the pressures were a lot, but he was a Pro Bowler and he was a second team All Pro for a reason. He's number 2 for a reason. He's definitely, like I said, one of the best right guards in the league. 100%, absolutely, without a doubt. Yeah, very deserving. I could see him back at number one next year, absolutely. Hard in the National Football League is going to be Quinn Miners. Last year, number five, he jumped up 4 spots. He is a mean machine for sure. Definitely a great run blocker, great pass blocker, does everything so well. And honestly, yeah, was a huge help for Bo Nix's rookie career. I'll tell you that. Quinn Miners continues to, prove you know, to me, man, the people that love the stats and love to look at it, like he really does show improvement every single year that he's been in the league, and finally it's paying off. He's the number one right guard in the league for sure. The Denver definitely has a guy here, tremendous athlete, and just a great blocker. Will move people. Quinn Miners was 26 years old. He's 4 years in the league. 4 years, $62.8 million, well earned. 17 games played, 1,089 snaps, 5 penalties allowed, 1 sack allowed, 4 hits allowed, 12 pressures allowed. Again, that's a huge reason why he's number one. The stats that he's had is insane. It's incredible. He is a first team All Pro member, snubbed to the Pro Bowl, but first team All Pro, man. Very well deserving. And yeah, the Denver's got a pretty good offensive line, man. Quinn Miners just adds to the ability of what he's able to do. And like I said, super gifted. Number one right guard in the league for sure.